I get a copy of my security clearance background investigation? Hi, it's Lindy Kaiser with clearancejobs.com. I got an email a while back from someone saying, hey, I usually request a copy of my security clearance record from either JPass or DIS, the latest version, the Defense Information System for Security. And I recently changed employers, and my new employer is saying, hey, they cannot give me a printout from DIS. What gives? I found that really interesting. I had never heard of anybody who makes an annual request to their security officer, but it is something we have talked about at Clearance Jobs. Keeping track of your security clearance is a good idea, knowing the status, knowing any investigation details. It's worth knowing. We have provided information on how to request a copy of your full background investigation, and we within that include the advice that if you currently have a security clearance, the best way to find your security clearance status is to do just that and ask your current FSO, CSO, or security officer assigned to you with your company or federal agency. Now, in this case, again, this individual said, hey, I wanted a copy or a printout from DIS and they wouldn't give it. Are there any rules around that? I asked around, could not find any policy myself. And again, I don't think I was told that there's a prohibition per se against a security officer if you ask them providing that. But it was emphasized to me that that's not what the system is designed for. It's really not created to be a printable means of getting that information. And it is fully within the purview of an FSO to say, hey, no. They can verbally give you your status or write that down via email, but do not have to give you a printout of any record from their system. The way to do that, DCSA actually provides a way. We have an article about that at Clearance Jobs. I will link to it in the show notes. You actually submit a request to the Freedom of Information Privacy Act office within DCSA, and they now even have a specific form, which NBIB and now DCSA have, called an INV 100, that provides exactly the information that you need to include. You don't have to provide that form. You can submit a written, they say, you can handwrite your request, or they also provide an email address where you can do a scanned copy. So you can either write a letter, again, or just fill out that form. It includes the specific information you need to ask for, and then they will give you your full background investigation file. There's certainly nothing preventing you from doing that every year. If nothing has changed, I definitely say it's not necessary. If you're getting ready to change employers, if you have a question about your security clearance status, again, what I said before, if you wonder if anybody ever said anything mean about you, why not ask? It's worth having a copy of your background investigation probably at some point, but it's most relevant for times of job change. If you're thinking about changing agencies, looking into reciprocity, and wonder if there could be anything in your background that might cause an issue when it comes to transfer of trust, that's the time to request it. You probably don't need to request it annually, but hey, if you want to, the power is in your hands. You can submit that request. It could take as little as a few days. I doubt that would be the case, or a few weeks to get that information back. Drop a note here if you've done that and tell us what the average timeline is for getting that information back. But there is a standard process. Again, if you just want to verbally know, your FSO can tell you your status. Hey, you're current. Hey, this is when your last investigation was, or yes, you're enrolled in continuous vetting, which folks should be now. They can provide some of that information. But if you want the full shebang here and want a copy of your investigation, again, the way to do that is through that specific form and with a request to DCSA or your security clearance government agency sponsor. So for more on that, visit us over at clearancejobs.com.